It's made me really look at how I think about myself and how I care about myself. I'm learning to look at all the good things I've done and be grateful for what I have. I am learning to love myself. Hi, I'm Andrina. I'm from Adelaide. I work across classes coaching teachers in literacy. It's in a primary school. We work with children who have been involved in trauma. It's a disadvantaged area, but I really love what I do. I had been separated from my husband, who I'd been with for nearly 30 years. We'd been separated for about 18 months. I knew that I needed something to move forward. I was pretty happy with how things were going in my career and my family, and I've got great friends, but I just knew that I had something to do personally before I could move forward and start other relationships. And I knew I needed to fix that in myself. I just needed to discover who I was again. I'd been lost for such a long time, felt like I'd been in a box. And it was almost like life was passing by and I was wasting that time when I could be spending it on other things that make me happy. I just knew I needed help. Wasn't feeling bad or down or anything like that, just stuck. The work that I've done has been around helping children. And, we use that work to help other people, like other staff, and I use that with my friends. It's just different when you're working on yourself because sometimes it's like you don't take the time to do it as well. You make other people a priority. And I think the step-by-step and looking at things and trying to see things from a different perspective. And I've done that, but the way that I looked at things was done in a deficit model more so than looking at the positives. And that's how I've always improved myself, by looking at the things that I need to get better at. But I think it was actually quite damaging thinking because, I needed to learn to love myself. I'm still working on that. But I think that's the difference, is that just taking that time, working through, feeling like you were supported, making sure I took the time. I don't really have any problems with the relationships I have with my kids or my family. Like I said, I love my job. Lots of areas of my life were going really, really well. Just myself is where I knew the work needed to be done. So the biggest thing that came out of all of this was I know that I need to learn to care about myself more and to love myself rather than helping everyone else all the time and beating myself up when things go wrong, because I tend to blame myself for everything that goes wrong. So with my relationships with my kids and with my ex-partner, and so I always look at how I can fix things and take all the responsibility. And I still think that's important, but it still needs to be done in a way that other people need to own their stuff too. The masculine and feminine aspect of things was a big thing for me because I did take control and I had to step up lots of times to be able to get everything done. And then as the workload increased when we had children and I studied, and then I took on a job that was requiring a lot of responsibility, and I tried to do everything for my kids, take them to sports. It just got too much. And when I asked him to step up, he was not used to it. Everyone just still expected me to do everything. So it was really my fault in the beginning, but I didn't know that at the time. I wasn't really sure if I ever wanted a relationship again because I thought I just couldn't be bothered with all the stress and all the time and having to go through and do all that again. I think the thing that I've learned is that I need to change the way that I do things in a relationship. And I do feel like I'm ready to start a relationship, not in a rush, just making sure I find the right kind of person. I think that I know how to do things a bit differently now, but I also know that one of the biggest things that contributed to how I felt in the relationship was how I cared about myself. Because how can I expect somebody to love me when I didn't love myself? I've always been excited to what the future holds, and I've never looked back. So I've always thought everything that I've done in my past has contributed to who I am today. It's made me a better person. It's made me stronger. It's made me more intelligent in the field that I need to work in. I think the difference is that now I can see myself sharing all of those things I'm excited about with somebody else. That's probably the biggest thing, is that all those things that I want to experience, the travel, even progressing still in my field, I would love to experience that with someone else, laughing, just sharing those little moments. I guess I see a future, if I meet somebody, it's filled with love and happiness and sharing all of that. So that's good. I don't know whether I've changed so much, just more that I look at things differently. I'm still me. I'm just trying to be more positive towards myself. I am organised, dedicated, but still very caring. It's really been important for me to take that time for myself And I need to do that more often. And I know that this is just the beginning. There's still lots of things I need to work on. I need to keep catching myself when I'm hard on myself. I need to make sure I take time for myself. I've always been pretty good at setting boundaries, but maybe I need to go about them in a little bit more of a constructive way and forgiving myself for things that have happened in the past and not necessarily blaming myself for things that happened as well. It's made me really look at how I think about myself and how I care about myself. I am learning to love myself. I'm learning to look at all the good things I've done and be grateful for what I have. I'm ready and I'm excited for my future. I know I've got so much to offer for people. I know I've got so much to offer when I meet a new partner, and I'm looking forward to knowing what kind of person to have in my life. And I just really appreciate it. Appreciate everything that's happened, all of the support.